Let's party. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Honestly Smartless. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
And I'm Dr. Lindsay.
And welcome.
Each week, we're just two dumb girls. We're actually smart. Always hilarious if I can get the words out. Let's start off with the cuddly critter of the week. So it's actually a twofer because we have the world's biggest dog and the world's smallest dog who became best friends.
How did they meet?
I think the Guinness Book of World Records brought them together.
Oh, like an influencer meet and greet.
100%. Because they're like, wouldn't this make a good photo op? And they're 100% correct. So the biggest dog in the world is a Great Dane, who's about 3 feet tall. They're 3 feet 3 inches. And then the little tiny Chihuahua is 3 inches tall.
I thought he weighs 3 pounds.
3 pounds. Mm-hmm. The Great Dane's probably 150 pounds.
That's enormous.
And they met each other and they played. And the Great Dane, I was so terrified watching the video that was going to smash little Chihuahua.
Yeah.
No, they made it okay. And then he has a big old paw.
And a baby paw.
A baby paw. It's so cute. It almost looks like the Chihuahua has its nails painted white.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You can do that with a little dog.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Thanks. Oh, an honorary mention is
Honorable
mention is Billy, the golden retriever, who always has her own set of keys that she brings in the car with her. Anytime they leave their house, Billy has to bring her own keys.
Oh my gosh.
I would love it if my dog did that. I would never lose my keys. Those are her own keys.
That's so adorable.
So cute.
I wish my dog did something unique.
Especially we're a pack mule of some kind.
Now something.
Mm-hmm.
Just a unique trait.
I know. Yeah, cute. Mm-hmm.
Right. What else?
I haven't really been shopping. I've been doing monk mindset shopping. Don't buy it if you don't need it.
Thought we were friends. It's just because you blacked out lately. You're like, oh, I'm a monk.
Once a quarter blacking out is totally fine. I need new clothes. That's why you're telling me about the Lululemon outfit that's nearby. I'm like, I can't be going there right now.
Well, it's a Lululemon outlet, right? And so everything is like a quarter of the cost. I'm not going, but let's keep it front of mind.
I know, but keep it front of mind. Just because it's a quarter of the cost doesn't mean I can't spend $500.
At least it's worth knowing about.
Yeah, we'll go hit it up.
Plus, if we're looking for an activity, why not go to the outlets?
Totally. What else do you have going on?
Oh, I have a question for you. If you can't taste food or drinks, what would you consume solely based on texture?
Oh, that's so funny. I had a similar question for you. Solely based on texture. I love mushy things and soft things, so I might just eat ice cream all the time.
I thought you were going to say that, but would you?
Or I could go for a really mushy French toast.
Oh, for goodness sakes. You might as well go for scrambled eggs. That's disgusting.
I don't like to use my mouth to chew food.
Yeah, I don't either. Oatmeal?
Ooh, okay.
Soup? Because what's the point of chewing?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what am I going to eat?
So you're just having liquids.
Yeah. That's all I like anyway.
You don't like the texture of foods that you're eating?
Like what?
An enchilada.
No.
A tostada.
Nope.
You don't like a crunchy? I would just get sick of slurping things down. I need something a little bit thicker. I said I would eat ice cream.
It's literally the exact same thing.
Or mushy French toast.
I said oatmeal.
Okay. How do you like your oatmeal? Do you like it really thin and runny? Or do you like it thicker?
It depends on what kind of oatmeal. Steel cut oats, a little thinner.
Okay.
Because those can get very thick. Quaker oats, right in the middle. Because too dry is just, it's not enjoyable. And then too runny is like, oh, I overdid it. So maybe a sweet spot. I thought maybe I'd like cottage cheese, but no. That'd be weird.
A good mush flavor.
It's it's almost got no flavor to begin with.
The thing about that I don't like is that then you have that like dairy coating in your mouth.
Well, I'll tell you what, I definitely wouldn't be drinking Starbucks.
Oh. I would keep drinking Starbucks.
Because you wouldn't have the flavor and you would have the waxy sugar.
Oh, the oat milk? I just drink straight up coffee then. Then I don't need the oat milk.
It's really hard because I don't know that I would eat anything because I don't necessarily love texture. I don't dislike texture, but I'm solely here for the flavors. And then I was like, I'm a fat ass if I'm only like eating it to like where you chew just so you can smell it and taste it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm just eating food because I have to eat food. But if I'm gonna eat it, yeah, I'd rather just have something mushier.
I wish there was a way I could test this. I was laying in bed last night trying to think of the answer. And I actually don't really have an answer to this question.
Well, you should try just having liquids for a day and see.
I don't mind
How
it.
you like that?
I love it. If I wasn't hungry, I would do it all the time. Okay, I have a problem.
Okay.
There is this very persistent customer at the restaurant that keeps asking me out. The first time he was like, hey, do you maybe want to grab coffee sometime? And I was like, yes, of course, because I was caught way off guard.
100%.
Then the second time I was like, oh my gosh, I totally lost your number last time. Gave it to me. And then the third time he's like, so is this ever going to happen?
Yikes.
He was kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
No, this is not the kind of guy I want asking me out on coffee. Do I have to go just because he won't leave me alone? Or do I, because I did take his number and I was like, this time I have to do something about it one way or another.
Do you like anything about his presence?
No, I don't dislike his presence, but he's just an older white man with no hair. He does appear to belong to a country club, but not even the best one at that.
You could just text him and say, hey, I decided it was best if we just see each other at Pino's.
Yeah, because, you know, the old adage, don't shit where you eat. Then it's going to be super awkward when he calls to order his calzones. And one time I remembered that he likes extra sauce. And I'm like, Mark, you didn't ask for it, but I just included it because the last couple of times you did. And I think he took that to mean I really like you.
She's flirting with me.
And he doesn't even really tip me that well. And I'm like, don't get it twisted, homie. You know, last week, I had a problem and I chose to tell the truth. And that worked out really well. I'm not going to do that this time because, but I think I'm going to say, hey, I just recently started seeing someone and it's getting exclusive. You can't be angry with that.
No, you cannot. I feel like you should just try being honest.
One more time.
Just try it. You might like it.
I don't know. It's a form of confrontation that I'm not comfortable with.
You know what he's going to say? He'll be like, who is it?
He's not going to ask that.
He might.
No.
If he's being kind of aggressive and continue to ask you out, he's probably going to have a follow-up question. Did you think about that one?
I'm pretty confident he's not going to. I promise you're not going to know him, is what I'm going to say. I run in different circles than you do.
I think you should just say, no, we should stick to seeing each other at work. I think we did.
Okay, well, here's the last. So I have made an observation. I think thong sandals are pornographic. Remember our old friend used to wear those thong, like, high heel?
Oh, those are just cheesy.
I think they're pornographic.
In what way?
I just feel like it's a thong for your toes.
The thong doesn't bother me for your toes because it's summer out. You need to let them breathe a little bit.
No, not like that. I don't know what it is. It's just a little too much bondage for me. You're showing too much foot to begin with, and it just makes your foot look slutty. And then I was thinking about there's a number of other things in society that are, like, incidentally also very pornographic that we're just supposed to pretend like it's no big deal. Like eating a banana or looking at a lollipop.
Oh, that's pornographic.
And you're like looking.
You're sticking it out to the side of your cheek, like.
Or you're like sucking on it and making eye contact. You're like, stop it right now. Thong sandals creep me the f out. And unfortunately, it's in right now.
It's very in right now. When I think of thong flip-flops, I think of trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Not porn, just trash. It makes me think Florida's wandering around the beach and you probably have one of those yardstick drinks in your hands and you're just like, hey, like, and like your belly's hanging out, like your Daisy Dukes are tight and your little crop tank on. That's what I think about flip-flops. Why do you think the thong sandals are pornographic?
There's toe cleavage. And people have feet fetishes.
They sure do. I don't want to be giving away my toes for free.
The strap placement to give the impression of a thong.
That I never thought of, but you know how my feet swell up a lot? when my feet are swollen, if I put a thong sandal on, it's like a butt.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I'm
It's
so
so
fat
nasty.
and so swollen.
The barefoot adjacency.
I mean, they are a step away from those mesh ballet flats.
The lady who did my eyebrows today had them on. She looked cute in them, but I was like, I could see your toenail polish. Ah! I'm like, why are you slutting up your like barefoot? It's like,
your foot's so slutty.
it is so slutty. I'm sorry. I just feel very strongly about it. So watch out, world. Don't put those on unless you're sending a message.
I mean, you know what's disturbing is how your favorite OnlyFans can come to you live in your living room as an AI pornographic avatar. So you can have sex with a hologram essentially in your living room.
Do you get to pick your avatar?
Well, the lady who's mostly doing is Get Vanji. Get it.
G-I-T?
Gitte. And she's like, there's so many men that want to have sex with me. I'm doing them a disservice if I don't make a hologram of myself that can pop up in their living rooms.
Well, she is a savage in business.
I'm thinking of the logistics. You have the hologram where you're like air humping.
God, does she give you like a blow up doll?
Maybe. Or maybe she does a whole routine.
Oh yeah, you know she does.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe she's laying down, maybe she's standing up, maybe one leg is up in the air. I don't know what's happening.
And do you pay for different positions? Oh, you know she does. You know that it was like doggy style, that's an extra 20.
Mm-hmm. Blowjob, that's an extra 50.
Oh, at least.
At least.
Brilliant.
Hand job?
Oh yeah. No doubt. We should try it.
Not for porn purposes, but you guys should hologram us into your house.
Oh,
Wouldn't
yeah.
that be fucking awesome?
Yeah.
If you need live entertainment for your next event,
I wonder what it would look like for us to hologram.
I don't know. Ooh.
Would you have to have a set?
You have to have a set. We need the green screen. We need a lot of special cameras.
Okay, so obviously when you book me, you're going to
Mhm.
give me your name and
Right.
what you're into and
Mhm.
then just a couple of details.
Yeah.
Because it's a pre-recorded, or is it live?
She wasn't really clear, but I would think that it would be live because you're probably paying a premium to have this hologram in your house.
Can you have a live hologram? The only hologram experience I've ever had is the 2008 election. Remember, there was a political analyst election night, and he had a hologram. I don't remember if he spoke or he was just physically present.
Huh. I do not recall that.
You were pretty young.
I was pretty young.
How middle school?
Yeah. Back in my day, my first hologram was on the Obama campaign.
Yeah. Speaking of porn,
Mm-hmm.
I have to tell you, I'm late to this party, but boy, am I on the wagon. Bonnie Blue.
Oh.
She's the shit.
Tell me more.
Okay, if I were a porn star, I would be just like her. If I were a porn star, I would be funny and sarcastic, and I wouldn't make the cliche noises. I would put your fears at ease by my little quips. And that's what Bonnie Blue does. She's funny as shit.
But do you think she's doing that when she's doing her OnlyFans?
I don't know what she's doing on her OnlyFans, but on Pornhub, she's funny. I watched a bunch just to hear her talk. I was pleasantly surprised. You should check her out. Maybe, how about this? You don't have to watch. You can listen.
Okay.
She,
My eyeballs can't handle that.
yeah, I don't want you to see those things. But what I particularly liked, for the first time I saw a porn scene, I can get behind this. They were in the gym.
Oh. What kind of machine was she on?
Well, she asked for a tour, and they didn't get far. She needed him to stretch her out. There's a lot of cat cows, and then there was like a puppy pose, and I feel strongly about the puppy pose, that is underutilized in the bedroom, or in this case, in the gym.
You love a puppy pose.
I love a puppy pose. I was so excited.
I like a puppy pose. My arms get tired.
You know who would like a puppy pose?
Who?
Your husband.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty common one.
Well, I don't know. I'm not having sex. What are the kids doing?
That's what I'm saying. My arms get tired. Puppy pose is so much easier.
Boots on the ground over here.
Yeah, let me report back to you. Let me tell you what's going on in 2025.
Anyway.
Also, speaking of porn, there's this new service that they're doing in South Korea where they're putting fillers in your vagina. Or if you're very, very stretched out or no fat left, then it's supposed to plump it back up again. So that's supposed to make sex more enjoyable.
While I was looking at Bonnie Blue, I was like, maybe I should get that surgery. I don't think it matters. No one's really down there.
No.
Anyway. The smut books. There's a very niche. Well, I don't think it's that niche. It's new to me. Lesbian or female is called
Sapphic romance.
Yeah.
Now includes, very popular term right now, includes women loving women / WLW. Non-binary femi characters. Okay, inclusive and modern. For sweet and smutty books. Mm-hmm. I feel like that is a relatively new niche.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like best friends open a bookstore. Whoops.
Oh yeah, these books are just really turning me on right now. Did you smell that old musty one over there?
The one I'm reading is in that category. And I was like, wait a minute. Because all I read was two best friends open a bookstore. It's like, give me a kiss before I fight the dragons.
She's like, give me a kiss on the cheek, and then she turns right away. She's like,
That's a good one. Gotcha. I thought that was interesting.
I'm happy they're being more inclusive with all the smut. There's something for everyone.
We're going to talk about inclusivity and how it can actually backfire.
Dying to find out.
Okay, well.
Stay tuned to find out. Along the lines of porn, the movie we just watched, Promising Young Female, this is about non-consensual encounters. Let's talk about non-consensual porn. AKA getting gang raped. Chelsea found this movie from 2020 called
Promising Young Women
with Carey Mulligan and Bo Burnham. Yuck to his face. I wish they had literally anybody else in the movie.
He's a little
hunched over. His lips are too red. And his hair is too stiff. I don't know. It's just like disgusting to look at.
That's her love interest.
Here is your summary of Promising Young Woman. Casey Thomas, a once promising medical student, is haunted by the traumatic sexual assault of her best friend, Nina. Dropping out of med school, Cassie leads a double life. By day, she works in a coffee shop. By night, she lures predatory men by pretending to be drunk, exposing their intentions. Her mission escalates when she reconnects with an old classmate who brings news about Nina's attacker. As she confronts those responsible, the film explores themes of revenge, complicity, trauma, and the limits of justice. And there's a very shocking and controversial climax, raising questions about how society handles sexual violence and who is believed. That's a very nice summary.
Yeah, that's better than I could have done.
Yeah.
Well, what are your thoughts?
The last 30 minutes of the movie are the best part.
Lindsay really only likes dumb movies. So when I feel passionately about a movie that's got like teeth to it, I was like, that's not good enough for you? This was a great movie. Okay. Sorry, you were saying?
I was going to mention that I'm like, I feel bad that I'm not so passionate about the movie.
On.
It was good.
I don't know why I take it personally.
Don't take it personally. It's just movies in general. I'm like, yeah, that's good. Or like, eh. So I like the movie Another Simple Favor. So obviously our taste in movies are different. By the way, I don't recommend that movie because I don't want that coming from my mouth to your ears saying that it was a good movie. But if you want nonsense, you should watch it.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, I watched it.
And I like nonsense.
She does love nonsense. She loves reality TV. Mm-hmm. There is something for everyone here on this, honestly, podcast.
You know how you like to enrich your life with knowledge and some teeth in it? I like to let my brain rot and watch reality TV and something to dumb it down.
Okay, I respect that.
Because I'm watching Promising Young Woman, I'm thinking, oh, wow, that's pretty tricky. Okay, that's pretty smart. And then as she keeps on luring guys in and exposing them, I'm just like, damn, you're so vindictive. And then I also go through a period where I just feel bad for her because she can't let it go what happened to her friend. And part of me thinks that she doesn't want to be so vindictive, but she really can't help herself because this is her only way of getting justice. I just feel like bad for her. But do you want to get to the end of the movie?
No one's watching this movie. Yeah, spoiler alert. So her best friend who was sexually assaulted, she was intoxicated, but went back with a guy to the fraternity house in which
this guy was raping her in front of all of his friends.
And it was recorded. Mm-hmm. It was male and female friends, right? A lot of people were watching and laughing, right? She had bruises on her body the next day. So when she went to the police, they didn't believe her. She hired a lawyer. But his lawyer basically bullied her and threatened her until she dropped the case because it's like, you can't ruin this young man's career.
He's going to be a doctor. We can't have that on his record.
So even when the girls went to the dean of the college, the dean was like, in cases of, he said, she said, I'd have to give men the benefit of the doubt.
And this was a female dean on top of that. And as all of this is happening, nothing was really shocking to me. I'm like, yeah, that's how it goes. That's literally the story of what happens. You have to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Oh, the girl should have been drinking. Blah, blah, blah. At the end of the movie, Cassie goes to get revenge on this guy who sexually assaulted her best friend.
Mm.
And she dresses up as a nurse at their bachelor party, like a stripper. She gets him alone, handcuffs him to a bed, and she starts saying, oh, you don't remember me? Do you remember my friend Nina? And he puts two and two together. Oh my God, you're her best friend. And she was going to carve Nina's name
Was
in
that what
him.
she was going to
do?
Oh,
With a scalpel.
Ooh.
Yeah. But they get in a tussle, and he finally breaks one hand free of the handcuff. So he has one hand handcuffed. He's tussling with her on the bed, trying to get the scalpel away from her. And then he ends up putting a pillow over her head and smothering her
to death.
to death. I thought he was just going to smother her enough to calm her down.
I did too.
Yeah.
It was a doozy.
That was a doozy. And this was definitely not an accident, because he kept on yelling, stop moving, stop moving. And she started to stop moving. And then you can see him. He is grinding his knee into that pillow. I'm like, holy shit. That was a little disturbing.
Well, you know why he was doing it so aggressively?
Because he hates her?
Because he was not going to let anything disrupt his perfect life.
Yes. And this is the part where I was like, wow, men are out of control. His best friend comes up in the morning and he sees her laying there with a pillow on her face. He's like, oh my God, hilarious. You slept with a stripper.
So that actor, he's always the douchebag frat guy.
Max Greenfield, he's also Schmidt on New Girl. But then he finally realizes that she's dead. And he's like, oh shit. And the guy handcuffed is freaking out and panicking. He's like, I didn't mean to do it. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
The perpetrator's name is Al.
Al. Yeah, Al's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. His best friend, I think his name is Joe. Joe's like, it's not your fault. I was like, oh, what? That's the part that got me. I was like, it's not your fault? Like, holy shit. That's when I'm like, men are out of control. They're so delusional. And then they did a really bad job of burying the body and hiding it. Like, if you really, like, knew something, when you burn the body, you would probably, like, scatter the ashes or, like, bury it or, like, take all of your jewelry. But the fact is, like, it's not your fault. Don't worry, we'll cover it up. You deserve to have a good life and everything that you want.
Okay, so after that, what's happening, split screen, Cassie anticipated that something might go sideways. So she sends a letter to him and says, in the event that I'm missing, look here. She also sent a message to her boyfriend. So she left a trail. The police were able to put it together and arrested Al at his wedding.
It's like, ha, fuck you and your perfect life.
The point I want to make, throughout the entire movie, they never say rape.
No, they don't.
They never say rape. They say the incident, they say sexual assault. So then I took it a step further. Prior to this movie, what I've been noticing is society on a whole is no longer saying the word rape.
No.
They are not saying rape. So Chat and I did a little dive, and I was like, is it just me, or society as a whole is no longer calling it rape? They're only calling it sexual assault. Because as a result of the Me Too movement, there's now a counter movement. You've been offending, our respected men, respected professions. They're putting an end to it. Their argument is, well, you said you wanted inclusive. Rape is not inclusive of same sex.
Yes, it is.
Lady on lady, it's not. Or if you're non-binary, I'm telling you, this is their argument. And so they just said it's too offensive and we need to ease up on the language because that is very specific. Why now? Another question is, what happens to a society that just blatantly allows rape? Because now we're reducing or eradicating the word. Therefore, the courts aren't going to enforce it, right? Assault is all-encompassing. Now victims are going to be believed even less. So you're going to have the police won't be able to prove it. You could take it to the court and they're not going to because we've walked it back.
That also circles back to this whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni incident where she's saying she's being sexually harassed on set. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm just like being me and doing this XYZ. But she's feeling uncomfortable. And they're like, no, you're not. Like, we were there. You didn't look like you're uncomfortable. So in her experience, she felt like she's being harassed. And no one is believing that.
So we're going backwards.
That's interesting. So
this was all my own idea, by the way. I wasn't tipped off by it, but it was an observation I was making. No one's saying it. And I was like, when I was trying to use it as a bit, I was like, why are they so offended by it?
They're almost reserving the word rape for something. I don't know what has to happen in order for it to be classified as that versus a sexual assault. Referencing that way.
I don't know.
Who's deciding that?
Okay, so then the legal system will collapse into tools of oppression. So the laws won't protect victims, but then it starts to kind of actively protect the perpetrators.
Well, if you also notice, we are shifting into more conservatism in general. And conservatism is more like traditional values, like the man is in charge, believe what they say, we're just here to be quiet. So I do see that shift happening. So I can understand why we're not using that word anymore and now it's becoming assault. And I guess for the PC purposes, it's all encompassing no matter what gender you are.
That's what they're saying. So then social trust erodes. So when rape is normalized, the social contract breaks down, i.e. women can't trust men. So then you're going to have less relationships. You're going to have less children as a result of it. Whatever we want to call this group of people, that the perpetrators, they're then going to use rape as a way of populating society.
Like, we have to do it. We're running out of children.
We're running out of children. You don't allow us to have abortions, and now you can rape us. Because until 1990, it was still legal to have marital rape.
Yikes.
That's not that long ago.
That's not that long ago. And you know what was interesting also in this movie, Promising Young Woman, is that when she brings these guys back to her apartment or back to their apartment, she's pretending to be drunk.
Yeah.
And they try and make a move on her. Then all of a sudden she's like, back the fuck off. I have to go home. And they're all like, no. Like, I'm a nice guy. I would never do anything. Like, no, you're amazing. I would never. Like, no, I'm a really, really good person. I swear to God, I'm a good person. So you can't trust anything.
I liked this movie because the first time it was addressing an ongoing epidemic from my perspective, from the female perspective. Because if you've never been sexually assaulted or if you've never been raped, okay, I get that. Maybe you can't identify. But what you might be able to identify with is if, let's say, your boyfriend cheats on you, you can't get revenge. They're the perpetrator and you're the victim in this, right? And you're heartbroken and you're hurt and somehow he can get away with it. That is what I'm talking about. That there is never justice for you're just stuck with it. And I love that she was able, and revenge sounds like it's revenge. And so I just, I wish things were a little more fair.
Don't we all?
That's the end of that.
And if you want to watch Another Simple Favor for a palate cleanser, go do that.
Yeah.
Even though there's incest in that movie, which is really weird.
Oh, I know. It's not perfect either.
No.
Just like,
yikes.
Yeah, they're really pushing envelopes kind of further these days, aren't they? Incest, it's like the incest or people with Down syndromes are becoming like objects of desire, like sex objects. I'm like, where do we go from here? Bestiality is on the horizon.
Yikes.
And it's going to be mainstream and you're just like, oh boy, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm not ready for that.
It's got to be 20 years ago. And I've talked about it once before, but one scene specifically what was it called? It was on FX, and it was like these two surgeons in Miami, and this one lady came, and she had bite marks on her vagina. And these doctors, for the life of them, couldn't put it together. Well, it turns out she is married to a man in the service, and he was overseas. And she didn't want to cheat on him, so she was putting peanut butter on her vagina, and the dog was licking it off. And at one point, something happened, but the dog bit her on the vagina. It has made such a lasting impression. I know I'm not the only one, because you can ask, what was this called? Okay, anyway, I can ask a number of people and they will remember that scene very vividly, because there's not a lot of bestiality on everyday TV.
Thank God.
No, serious, but like, where are we going to go? I really do feel like civilization is coming.
Ending.
It's coming. I wouldn't be surprised if you're like, yeah, we're on the downward slide.
We're not evolving.
No, we're definitely not. We're not in a period of evolution. I'll give you that. I have a humble brag.
Okay.
I cleaned up my email inbox.
Woo!
I had
a big deal.
35,000 unread emails.
That's a lot.
I did not go through them. It just took me 90 minutes to delete all of them, because Google will not let you do.
They don't let you mass delete everything.
Although I was trying to code and it didn't work. So 50 at a time, I had to delete everything. And this is not so humble. I finally was able to cancel a couple of subscriptions that I haven't been able to cancel for years. I changed my card. I was tempted to actually get a new bank account, because for the life of me, I couldn't cancel. It was like one charge was like $15 every month. One charge was for $65. I was even targeted on Instagram. Hey, having a hard time canceling your Adobe account? They are known for fraudulent activity. It took me 45 minutes with the online chat representative. I want to cancel. I want to cancel. Oh, do you want 2 months free? I want to cancel. They were so she wasn't going to let me cancel unless I remembered the email.
Oh my God.
I was like, I don't know it. They're like, well, then we can't help you. And I was like, you have my name. You have the digits of my credit card.
Mm-hmm.
So finally I was able to eradicate that. And then there was a charge, and it said Max Fund. And I was convinced that I was donating to help animals.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it was my subscription to HBO Max. Whoops.
Oopsie-daisies.
Ooh, I should get better on my finances. So I did that. And well, you would think it wouldn't create as much zen, but I am not adverse to checking my email anymore.
I love that.
I love it too, because
you need to be checking your email.
I need to check my email, just like, responsible people do.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't bring myself to do it. There's just so much. It was like, your closet's overflowing. I feel a lot better.
I love that you were able to do all of that, cancel Adobe, get a new card, all the things, and we still don't know how to jump a car.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so glad you brought that up. Oh my God, this is a great fucking story. So, Lindsay and I are legitimately besties in our lives. So if anything goes wrong, or if any thought pops into my head, or anything, if I take a breath, I call Lindsay. And so I thought my roommate was going to help me jump my car. And he kind of blew me off. And I was like, fine, I have someone I can call. So Lindsay's like, I'll be there in 20. She's got the jumper cables. I've got my hood open. And she's got her hood open, which as she's handing me the cables, she's like, I actually don't know how to do this. And I was like, I don't either.
Then we're just like, well, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
And I go home, and my husband is like, why didn't you just Google it? I'm like, well, we're in the garage. I don't get service in the garage.
I don't get. No one really wanted it that bad. I didn't have anywhere to go, and I was like, fuck it. And I love the fact that we weren't going to try and make it work.
Mm-mm.
No.
Like, no.
I don't know where, the black, red.
Me either. He was like, obviously, red is
red to red, black to black.
Yeah, he's like, red is positive and black is negative, or whatever he said.
Of course black is
obviously,
negative.
Duh. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to remember that? He's like, you just remember it. I was like, I don't remember it.
No, you go color to color, because I don't know.
But I only had a positive and a negative. I didn't see colors.
I don't
see color.
I don't see color either. All colors matter. But they don't, not in this situation, right? So we would have had to look that up. My roommates are red and black and black, but he's got a cover on his. I wouldn't even been able to identify where the battery lives. Yes, at that point I would have looked it up. I would have taken a picture. I would have taken a picture on chat, told it the year, make, and model of my car, and said, please tell me where the battery is. And where on Lindsay's car, year, make, and model is hers. So yeah,
it's a valiant effort.
well, I didn't make one, but in the event that I needed to, that's what I would have done.
That's what you would do.
Oh my god, it was fantastic. You can't not. And then we laughed and we were like, we don't care. We don't give a shit. We're two dumb girls.
Yeah.
I could have flagged any man down and be like, I don't know how to do this. Please don't harass me sexually later. JK.
JK. LOL. Speaking of red and black, those cardinals wearing red, they're conclaving right now.
Oh, they are conclaving.
And did you know that there is special protocols for the food that they can eat?
No. Okay, so unless you're living in Iraq, Pope Francis passed away on 4/21, the day after Easter. Now, they have to wait approximately 10 to 15 days for the conclave to start, in which all the cardinals in the world, if you're over 80, you're not allowed to vote in the conclave.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, they have like age cutoff. And then it's all cardinals in the world. But what I didn't know was Pope Francis is responsible for electing 80% of the current cardinals.
Oh.
So I don't know if the other ones were fired because there's been a little bit of a scandal.
Imagine that.
I don't know if they let go from their post or there was so many positions that were open. But because what he also did differently was he went to Africa. He went to Asia. A number of places in the world that weren't, I don't know, what are you going to say, represented by the Catholics or like infiltrated and colonialized, one or the other, depending on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but just a little, some of the stuff I've recently read.
Okay, so Pope Gregory the 10th, new rules. I don't know when he was the Pope. It sounds like in the 1200s. His rule is still in effect today, and the fact that they have to ration the cardinals' food. So after 3 days without a consensus of picking a new pope, the cardinals receive only one meal.
Get your shit together.
You want to eat or not? After 8 days, you only get bread and water. Mm-hmm. Oh. They have gotten slightly more lax. So now, before the first 8 days, now you get a 3-course meal consisting of a soup and a main dish of fish, meat, or eggs, and a dessert.
They sound fine.
Yeah, cheese or fruit. But they also can't be having raviolis or chicken or anything stuffed because the people bringing in the food could stuff in a message in the raviolis and try to persuade the cardinals to vote one way or another.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to live a long time without raviolis. That's probably their celebration dinner when they're done.
I bet they have the world's greatest chefs.
I feel like they probably eat like peasant food.
Oh, don't make no mistake about it. Those fuckers are so well off and so well positioned. Like the Vatican is one of the wealthiest like nations in the world. You know they're not skimping on a goddamn thing.
You know they have all the subscription services for everyone.
They have the subscription services to everything. I bet if you even have like a hint of an allergy, there's one kosher table on the other side of everything you could possibly. There's no doubt about it. Like, gosh, in the Sistine Chapel is where this conclave is happening.
Oh, and they have to send out the smoke signal,
right?
So black for no go, and
of course,
yeah, black for no go, white for we got it. White is for we're hungry, we just want to be done.
We don't give a shit anymore.
Just to wrap it up a little bit, we had Met Gala last week and Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, so Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Or Happy Mother's Day is over.
Yeah. Boom.
You made it. What a good person you are to celebrate your mom.
I was seeing all these TikToks of leave me the best Mother's Day present that you can buy. You know, not your usual stuff. I want really creative ideas. And I commented, I was like, why isn't a card and a phone call good enough?
What was the response?
I haven't.
I should check.
I haven't checked back because I'm imagining there's a lot of hate underneath that.
I feel like we're overdoing it on the moms.
Yeah, and so people were getting their moms Stanley bouquets. So Stanley mugs in a bouquet form. Get them 6 of them at a time. Yeah. Jewelry. I think this is wild.
I think it's too much.
My mom's card didn't even get delivered yet, so she'll be excited when she gets it later this week.
Okay, well, Lindsay's an extreme. But, you know, the more I'm thinking about it, like, I really admire your boundaries.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to implement them in my life, and I'm trying to put words to it when I'm confronted because, I mean, you know, my mom's going to be back in town soon, and she's continuing to push my boundaries. After last summer, didn't go very well. I gave it my all, but it just wasn't good enough, and that's fine. So the only thing I can do to honor myself from last summer is to remain firm on my decision that she can't stay here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's, oh, but can I just stay at your house for the first 3 nights? No, you can't. Mm-mm. And then it's just a lot of like tugging at my heartstrings and manipulation. And I used to think maybe she doesn't know how much she's manipulating me, but she didn't realize that she came clean, but she admitted to me in a conversation, Christmas Eve to be exact, where she was telling me a story. She was like, okay, what's the word I'm trying to say? So she's telling me the story of she's having a conversation with my brother, and she's like, yeah, I told your brother that I can have Chelsea on the phone with you in 10 seconds flat.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knows how to manipulate me that well.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
And you're like, ooh, you showed your cards, mama.
I wish she hadn't done that because now I know that that's vindictive.
That is vindictive. She showed her cards, and I feel like that should actually kind of bring you a little bit of peace.
It does. A little bit, yeah, it does. And I'm still struggling. You know, the closer it gets to her coming here, I'm just like, oh.
Just because you're born into a family doesn't mean you have to like them and get along with them all the time. That's why you choose your friends who you want to spend your time with.
At this point, I identify, it's not like, oh, she's just my bestie. Lindsay is now my family. And, you know, yeah, because I can trust you. I feel safe. I feel safe around you. I can let my guard down. I know that 100% I am loved for all versions of myself. And I don't get that with my mom. I don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you were talking about the Stanley bouquet, my mom be like, that's stupid.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like, I'm a totally different person around my family. I'm like, I better just sit here and be quiet and just say like, mm-hmm, yep, whatever, and kind of laugh at whatever.
You know, think about the perfect gift for your Mother's Day. There's no gift that she would like.
No, it would just be a fight, and it'd be like, oh, well, I wish you would have got me this. I wish you would have got me this. You know, it would have been great. We just need some cash. Or like, you know, if you want to pay for this, you could have done that. So yeah, just like, call it a day. Call it a day. Happy Mother's Day.
Is over.
It was over a day.
Wait, what were we going to say before that?
Oh, I just said the Met Gala was last week.
Okay. I also feel very strongly about this because I feel like social acceptance was just performative.
Oh my God. This is why I was afraid of the theme for this year with the cultural appropriation side of everything and dressing like a dandy. You know, do you think that maybe it would have been less performative if it was only people of color at this event, not white chicks showing up in suits?
You should have skipped the word dandy and just said tailored. Tailored from the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Used a different word because dandy implies African American.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, what I really admired this season was that it wasn't as costumey. I really did think that the outfits were tailored. There was a lot of construction and there was a lot of thought and purpose into it. So I didn't feel like it was so egregious.
Mm-hmm.
There, you know, no one was wearing a Marilyn Monroe dress.
Yeah, it was on theme.
It was on theme. They did a better job of sticking with the theme. I was pleasantly surprised to see how many African American people did show up. And I mean, I feel like it was as close to just being African American people but you had to have some whiteys there.
Yeah.
You had to have some of
And
them.
then every time an interviewer would ask a white person, hey, when you heard about the theme, what went through your mind? And they're all saying, I'm just looking forward to see how everyone else interprets it. That's a safe answer.
I would have said I am something about like I'm a history buff.
Yeah, you would say something about a history buff. I would say something along the lines of I'm honored to be included in this theme and I take it seriously honoring this era of fashion. Something along those lines.
So wait. Still recording. I do like pick it up. Sorry, the cord. That's real drag. Welcome back to Honestly Smartless. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are back in 2K.
Okay, so just finish your thought about the Met Gala.
Okay, real quick. I also doesn't sound like it's gonna be real quick when you say it like that. If anyone's watching The Studio on Apple TV with Seth Rogen.
Yep.
The most recent episode, I think it's episode 7. Well, they are casting for the upcoming movie Kool-Aid, and they cast Ice Cube as the lead, and they have the ensemble is great. So you've got people from all walks of life. You have like an Asian lady and black and white and all, the whole, everybody's represented. Well, at the last second, they're like, wait, are we culturally appropriating? So now these white studio heads have it in their mind that now they're being like, their initial choice was racist.
Yeah.
Again, performative.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I could draw the comparisons between the two where it's pretty delicate to address those things when maybe we're just making too much of a big deal.
Yeah, I thought they did a really great job of bringing comedy into the performative aspect of it. And then once they shake up the entire casting, oh my God, they change it up so many times. And then it becomes an all black cast. And then they have to have all new writers because like the white writers can't be writing for black actors. And then the director's like, well, now I need to use AI because I don't have time to be writing all of this. And then he finally goes to Ice Cube, the source, and he's like, Ice Cube, like, is it cultural appropriation? Is it a little racist? Ice Cube's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no.
He's the perfect Kool-Aid man, right? So I feel like both the studio and the Met Gala are dancing on the same cultural fault line where representation turns into repurposing. And while it's well-intended, gestures get caught up with ego and spectacle and brand optics. So it's kind of scripted satire, but not, I don't know. It's just
hard to tell what's real, what's not real.
It's definitely not real. That's not how people in real life feel. Like, if it's a good if it's a good movie about the fucking Kool-Aid man, who cares? Because you know what? It's so far out there. The only thing that is redeeming is Ice Cube. I don't know.
I'm sure it's loosely based off of something that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know the Met Gala was like,
I know.
I mean, they should do a number of things. I think the Met Gala theme for next year should be like dressing over the decades.
Oh, that's fun.
Period pieces.
Period pieces. I think they should go back to camp. That's costumey. It's out there. It's outrageous. That was my favorite year.
When was that?
Probably about 5 years ago, I want to say.
Like glamping? Like a glamping?
No, as in like Jared Leto's carrying a lion's head. Lady Gaga has like 3 outfit changes, like a dress that is 20 feet long and a jacket to take it off, and then it's a
What do
whole
you mean
piece.
camping?
Camp as in like theatrical and over the top.
Oh, I thought you were saying like nature, like Boy Scouts in the woods.
Ew.
I think that'd be amazing.
I also think that Kim Kardashian
Should be banned.
Yeah.
Girl, sit down. You've never been like high fashion.
Just find a new style. I don't know what to tell you, but it's just
don't
so
belong
old.
there. You don't belong there. You belong in so many other spaces and you can do so much good. Leave it to Kendall. It's okay to have a wheelhouse. This might be your only wheelhouse. Why does she miss the mark so bad? Who is her stylist?
She actually just got a new one after the Met.
I hope so.
I hope so. I would like to see her in something other than something tight fitted.
I know. Be a lady. How about like look at Promising Young Woman?
Yeah. Like what Zendaya wore. She looks stunning.
Stunning.
A nice fitted, tailored outfit.
You know, I think the problem is Kim Kardashian's measurements.
They're tough.
They are so disproportionately. It doesn't make Zendaya is just a mannequin. She is the definition of a runway model. She's just very tall and lean, skinny. So like everything would look good on her. But there were other ladies who wore tailored white suits and they look stunning. I really do get behind this theme of like what's like suits. It's kind of the zoot suit dandy era.
Yeah, this is your time to shine.
I do love it, but now that like somebody called me Ellen DeGeneres as a result of wearing too many suits and too many blazers, it kind of broke my heart.
Yikes.
That and like the tennis, like the what are they like the sophisticated tennis shoe? Somebody said that. I think it was you that said it, and I was like, I'll never be wearing those again. It's like a cross between like your golf shoes with that flap. And suede as a sneaker, and you're like, no, get rid of it.
That's all it takes. Okay. Well, let's wrap it up this time.
That's what she said.
Okay, make sure you share this episode with your besties and like, subscribe, follow at Honestly Smartless, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, 5 stars only wherever you get your podcast. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, and YouTube.